Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me right here in Solomon's Temple. I'm Solomon Isanga Shams. Happy New Year to all of you. If you're watching, I think the internet is a bit slow. So if it is really, really slow, please let me know so I can find an option and try to get it right. So let me know how the feed is coming to you. Is the video okay? Is it too slow? Are you really watching it? Well, thank you so much. Really appreciate each and every one of you. It's a new year. Happy New Year, wherever you are, any part of the world. And I just want to say the fact that God brought us into a new year, that is very important. Now, a lot of people reflect back in the last year and see the obstacles and the challenges and the problems. But I want to encourage you this new year, focus on the promises of God. His promises, his promises, his promises. That's what you need to focus on. It is important. If you don't focus on his promises, you're going to be distracted by the challenges, by what other people are saying, by what's happening, by the situations around you, by the circumstances that you're going through. Uh, but God is able. God is always there for each and every one of us. So happy New Year to all of you. Thank you, Abel. Abel says, Happy New Year, Uncle Solomon. Happy New Year to you also. Thank you so much. Lizzie, thank you. Lizzie has been faithful last year, always here, checking out the videos that we create. And thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you. I'm still down in the city of Durban by the coast. Right in front of me here is the sea. Um, and we enjoying this holiday with my family. We're gonna be here, live here tomorrow after about 2 weeks, and then we go up to Johannesburg, and then we're gonna go up to Namibia next week, Monday, by the grace of God. So if you're in Namibia, please let me know. Maybe hopefully we can meet. I don't know. I'm spending 2 days in Windhoek, so maybe hopefully we can meet. But may the Lord continue to bless you. I want to look at a story. My first story in the new year is about someone that I'd known as a friend and his family, Dr. David Molapo, who is a very renowned South African church leader, and also somebody who, with his first wife, Mamiki Molapo, promoted marriages, godly marriages, so much. They wrote so many books around godly marriages, and they always on TV, had their shows on TV, radio, talking about godly marriages, and they really love the Lord. But a couple of years ago, something happened, and he got divorced from his very first wife, Mamiki Malapo. So this is Dr. David Malapo with his first wife, Mamiki. It's coming. Not sure what's happening here. I'm trying to play you the. Hope you can see me. Not sure why the video isn't, not the video. Yeah. So this is Dr. David Malapo on one side with his wife Mamiki Malapo. That's his first wife. And after over, I think, 30 years of marriage or so, they got divorced, and he now got involved with the younger woman here. You can see her name is Faith, and they got married. And this is a picture from their traditional marriage. It's coming. It's a picture here. The internet is so slow, so please bear with me. Okay, I'm trying to get it out there. Maybe it's gonna appear right now. But he had a uh, divorce with his wife and got married to Faith, which is the one that I had that one, this one that I had showed you here. I'm trying to show you the picture from the uh, what do you call it? From their uh, traditional wedding. So now I think somewhere in October, November, uh, from what I've heard, unconfirmed report, but he would confirm if this is true or not, that he has gotten married because he got divorced from his second wife. That was Faith, a younger woman. So now he got divorced from her, and he got married to another woman, younger woman. Her name is Faith also. So I was told this is the new wife that he got married to. Is Dr. David Molapo married or not? From what I have confirmed, he has gotten married quietly and privately. And this is the third wife. Her name is Faith, from what I heard. Um, and if she's not the wife, obviously I will come and tell you she's not the wife and all that kind of stuff. Uh, but that is what I would say, sadly, the story of Dr. David Molapo. This is his traditional wedding to his second wife, who is Faith. Also, her name is Faith, and this is now him with the woman that is alleged to be his third wife. Her name is also Faith. This is her in close proximity, and this is him with his first wife on the one side and his second wife on the other side. And when leaders go through a lot of this, you ask yourself, what is really happening to this leader? I don't know what's happening to Dr. David Malapo, but I know that for a Christian leader who believed so much in marriage, who believes so much that divorce isn't an option, because that is what he had preached and taught people and written books about it, for him to find himself in a short space of time, within a space of 3-4 years, divorcing, married, divorce again, and getting married again. It must be something disturbing for a leader. And it's not a place, I don't think there's any leader that enjoys to get divorced and then get married and get divorced and get married. And any leader that does that, obviously, then there's a huge character and spiritual problem with that leader. Because to divorce, it's painful, right? That's why you see a lot of people, they get divorced and they don't want to get married again, because they don't want to get married and then have to divorce again, go through all of that, that pain in itself. So we should pray for our leaders in this year 2025. And at the same time, if you are married, it's time to be extremely careful. It's time for the husband, for the wife, for both spouses to be extremely careful and focus on God and God alone. And we must not create a certain level of younger leaders who look up to the Dr. David Molapo, because a lot of people look up to him and now feel that they can divorce, get married, divorce again. No, that is not a good example. It happened to him, or it happened to his wife Maniki, but that is not a good example at all. Because a leader went through a certain situation does not mean that uh, he uh, he is right. Leaders make mistakes. So we must. Dr. David Malapo is well in his 60s now. He's a grandfather, uh, and from what I know, his last wife that he divorced was in her 30s. And I think this one also in her 30s, if I'm right. So you also ask yourself questions. Why younger women? And there's nothing wrong with somebody who is 20 years older than the woman to get married to. I don't see anything wrong with it. But you need to ask certain questions around it. As we go into 2025, we must pray for our leaders, for their marriages. And importantly, we must make sure that we follow the footsteps of the leaders who are really being good examples in spite of the challenges of marriages. We follow the good uh, examples that they are showing. Marriage is tough. Marriage is difficult. Just like any other thing in life, marriage is difficult. Life is difficult in itself. So why do you expect marriage to be any different? You know, people are commenting here. Let me put some of the comment. Magauta says, what does the Bible say about divorce and remarriage? Very good question. For a lot of people believe that marriage is of the Lord, covenant by God, and the two people, and divorce should never happen. And if you get divorced, you must never remarry. I come from that sort of church. But do I believe in all of it? I don't. You know, I feel the Bible allows you to get divorced on the grounds of infidelity, adultery. And that is your choice to get divorced or not. But you also have to understand that sometimes the one person wants to work on the marriage, but the other person wants a divorce. And there's nothing you can do about that, right? Anita is saying, how long does the midlife crisis last? So she is suspecting, you know, um, it's a case of a midlife crisis. And she's saying that, can see it appears he colors his hair, mustache, and eyebrows. Some people can't accept getting old. Uh, John Gile says, wonder what the lady hoped to achieve because it's really obvious the man is empty. So there's so many comments here. Again, this is the woman that is said to be the new wife. This is the woman that is said to be the new wife, and her name is Faith, from what I heard. So she's said to be the new wife. And his first and second marriage wives, we know Dr. Mamiki Molapo, the one with the headgear. She was married to him for about 30 years or so. They have 2 children, and I think about 3 or 4 grandkids right now. And on the other side is the second wife, who he married a couple of years ago. Their marriage didn't really last. I think it lasted just about 2 years or so. But again, as we go into this year, I want to encourage everybody, look for leaders that, in spite of their imperfection, their humanity, they are doing their best to be good examples in all areas of life. That is very important. Maggie says divorce is not good at all. To be honest with you, I know Dr. David Molapo. I've sat with him. I've been to his house. I know his wife, know his kids. And it's sad to see where he's at now. It's not easy for a man to be divorced once. Now you're divorced twice already. I'm sure it's very much heavy on him. People label you. and people say all kind of stuff about you and all that kind of stuff. But my encouragement to every one of you is make sure this year 2025 you work on your marriage, you work on your relationship, you look for leaders who are good examples in certain areas that you're struggling with in marriage, and follow them. Thank you so much. God bless you, and have a wonderful